The early hours of Saturday, May 12, 1900, were quiet, the darkness thick and unyielding along the Leeds and Liverpool Canal at Glebe Road, Holbeck. As William Wilson strolled alone, his footsteps whispering against the stillness, something in the murky water caught his eye, a shape adrift in the sluggish current. He drew closer, his breath quickening. Then, the horror revealed itself. A small, lifeless body. And then, another. 2 little girls. One barely older than the other. Red-haired, unmoving, swallowed by the black water. Wilson staggered back, a cry strangled in his throat, before panic propelled him into a desperate sprint for a policeman. Within minutes, Constable Byram was beside him, staring down at the canal's terrible secret. He and Wilson steeled themselves before dragging the fragile forms from the water. Their hair, their likeness, it was obvious. Sisters. Their bodies were rushed first to Hunslet Road Police Station, then to Millgarth Street Mortuary to await identification. But there were no reports of missing children. No desperate parents searching the streets. The conclusion was chilling. This was murder. Investigations unfolded with alarming speed. Witnesses had seen a man, short, red-haired, leading 2 little girls on the previous evening. As officers stitched together a description, they soon found him, loitering at the corner of Water Lane and Bridge Road. Thomas Mellor, a 29-year-old laborer, was apprehended immediately. He was known to have 2 young daughters. Red-haired. Ages 6 and 4. Ada and Annie Beecroft. Illegitimate, orphaned by their mother's confinement in Menston Asylum. Dead by November 1899. Mellor had cared for them alone until his common-law wife passed away. But hardship had thickened around him like a noose. He moved into a squalid dwelling at 6 Forth Court, a crumbling ruin swallowed by the shadow of the London and North Western Railway Bridge. With his new partner, Priscilla Redshaw, they eked out a miserable existence. Cold. Hunger. Debt. Priscilla sent her own children away, hoping to give Mellor's daughters a fighting chance. But they were losing the battle. The family fell into arrears. Eviction was swift. Homeless, they roamed the streets, pleading with neighbors, slipping back into the abandoned house at night only to be displaced again come morning. The cycle was cruel. Unforgiving. Until finally, on the evening of May 11th, Priscilla reached her breaking point. She found Mellor in a public house, placed his daughters in his hands, and walked away. She would no longer carry this burden. Hours later, Mellor was seen by the canal. Ada clung to his hand. Annie rested in his arms. It was the last time anyone saw them alive. By the morning, their bodies floated beneath the still surface, waiting for discovery. Arrested, Mellor's defense was pitiful. He had searched desperately for shelter for the girls, pleading with the Holbeck guardians to take them into the workhouse. When all doors remained shut, he had lowered them into the water, not to drown them, but in some twisted hope that someone, anyone, might find them and care for them. The authorities thought otherwise. On May 14th, Mellor stood before the Leeds police court, the weight of his crime pressing against him. Witnesses spoke, evidence mounted, and the charge became clear. Murder. Double murder. There would be no escape. The trial of Thomas Mellor unfolded in Leeds on July 28, 1900, before the solemn figure of Mr. Justice Ridley. The case against him was led with steely precision by Mr. Harold Thomas, assisted by Mr. Edmondson, while Mr. Horace Marshall fought on Mellor's behalf. But only one charge was pursued, the murder of 6-year-old Ada Beecroft. Esther and Mellor, married to Mellor's brother Arthur, took the stand, offering a stark glimpse into his shattered existence. She spoke of Ada and Annie's mother, doomed to an asylum and dead by the previous November. She detailed Mellor's new relationship with Priscilla Redshaw and the creeping financial ruin that had strangled them all. After eviction, Mellor had turned to Arthur, pleading for lodgings, only to be met with reluctant refusal. When Esther asked him what he would do if no sanctuary could be found, his words were chilling. "The water is big enough to hold them and me and all. I have said it, and it will be tonight." But on that occasion, the terrible promise went unfulfilled. Priscilla Redshaw, long-suffering and weary, painted a bitter portrait of their life together. Though Mellor earned a respectable 17 shillings a week at the gasworks, he handed her a mere 3 to feed, clothe, and shelter his family. On the evening of May 11th, she had placed the children into his arms. His response was grim. "I will go to the bottom of the water with them." Then she walked away. Witnesses emerged. Pamela Bramham recalled seeing Mellor with the children that same night in Fourth Court. She had overheard him murmuring to Annie, soothing her tears. He had asked where Priscilla was. Pamela didn't know. He had sighed, defeated, admitting he had no idea what to do with the girls. Her suggestion, that he take them to his father, was dismissed. The prosecution pieced together their argument. This was no impulsive crime. It had been brewing in Mellor's mind for days. More damning testimony followed. A man had been spotted by the canal near Half Moon Bridge at 11 p.m., 2 young girls at his side. The darkness had swallowed their features, but it was noted the elder child wore a shawl. By morning, their bodies surfaced beneath the bridge. Ada's shawl lay discarded in the grass. Then, at 11:30 p.m., Mellor was seen alone. The final blow came from Constable Ernest Rogers, who had been watching over Mellor in the town hall cells on May 12. At 5:30 p.m., the prisoner had broken down, weeping, and without prompting, began to speak. Rogers recorded his words. Mellor had tried everything, pleading with the workhouse to take the girls in, even offering to pay for their care. He had dragged them from house to house, begging for shelter. Every door had remained shut. Then, out of desperation, he had taken them to the canal. Rogers pressed him. "And threw them in." Silence. Then Mellor corrected him. "No. Shoved them in." Rogers pushed further. "It's a wonder they didn't scream." Mellor hesitated. Then, his final admission. The first one was very quiet. But the youngest, she was the strongest. She cried out, "Oh, Dada." In court, Mellor vehemently denied ever uttering these words. The defense attempted to reduce the charge to manslaughter. Mr. Marshall argued that Mellor had done everything he could, placing the children in the water only in the tragic hope that their cries would summon help. But Mr. Justice Ridley saw through it. If Mellor truly wished them to be found, why not abandon them safely in the streets of Holbeck, where death would not have been the inevitable outcome? The jury deliberated for a mere 17 minutes before sealing his fate. Guilty. Though they recommended mercy, on the astonishing grounds of his past kindness, his sentence was death. With no appeal court, Mellor's only hope lay with the Home Secretary. But the answer was swift. His sentence would not be overturned. And so, on the morning of August 16, 1900, Thomas Mellor rose for the last time. He ate well. He remained composed. At 9 a.m., he stepped into the execution chamber at Leeds Prison, alongside Charles Benjamin Backhouse, a convicted policeman killer. The hangman, James Billington, accompanied by his son, prepared their ropes. And then the floor fell away.